It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Greg Cherry Show, the final show of 2021. And also, as you mentioned on Monday, this is the final episode that will be airing on your networks because
again, like you talked about off air before we went on, I decided to renege on that because I can't.
Well, never mind.
I want to have the idea of losing you on Wednesdays because it's awesome to have you here. So,
well, there you go. Then I guess ignore what I just said.
But
we'll continue.
I was just saying, it's so funny. I don't dance during the Talk Wrestling intro or Stat Boy Sports Bar. I always freaking jam out to the Greg Cherry intro. I don't know why.
It's just catchy music.
It's very catchy. Yes, good to be back. In a couple weeks.
Yes, because you weren't here last week. JB3 filled in. He did a good job. Appreciate
he
JB3.
did. And again, I was supposed to be at a Paradise Kitty show that COVID done ruined. So that day just got shot to balls. So sorry about that. I wasn't here last week. So,
man, I hope it doesn't screw with the Rumble.
God.
But you know what? I will say this: 2021. The two Rumbles that they had were pretty good Rumbles.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And after the 2022 Rumbles, I will be updating officially the definitive Rumble countdown for anybody who was curious. Because I do have the 2021 Rumble matches ranked, but I have not outwardly put in the video where they would fall score-wise.
Yes.
So check that out. That'll be obviously after this year's Rumble or 2022. Thank you for that. I changed the graphic from being scrolling across the screen in case you were wondering, and the link should be in the YouTube description as well. That's where you donate if you want to see me do stupid stuff. And you know who wants to see us do stupid stuff?
Of course.
Brett Storm wants to see us do stupid stuff.
Because not only is he hours ahead of us, he's also early on donating shit before we can get on the we're still in the freaking green room waiting to go.
Yeah. Which is greatly appreciated. It's always exciting to be like, okay, we're going to kick off this show with a boom. So he donated and says, I'll just say thank you to both you and JV3 for the stuff you're saying about me in last week's Greg Cherry show. I said in the comments, but I'll say it again. It's really humbling. And also it feels weird hearing that stuff as I didn't expect it. Well, I'll tell you what, Brett, like on this show and in general, I like to show people respect where it's due. And as somebody who has won multiple Fan Quizlemania championships and seeing what you did in the first round of the tournament, I know what you did in the second round of the tournament too. No spoilers because that's coming here in a couple weeks. But I feel the need to show you respect because, like I said, you remind me a lot of me. And should you win the tournament, it terrifies the crap out of me that my reign.
Yes. Much like knowing what was coming when people had to face me, it's like, yeah, I don't mind that guy, but I don't know if I want to be champion if Brett Storm was in the tournaments back then. I'd be like, I'm good. I retire. I quit.
I mean, Brett tore through his first round against Steve Mesa, who Mesa is a guy who works in wrestling. So it's not like he beat a lightweight by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
So with the donation comes a spin of the wheel. And yes, Brandon, hey, you know what you should do? Tell more people about the show who have money so they can donate.
That's it. I'm not sure why my mouse all of a sudden started spazzing, but we'll figure it out in a minute.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So that's why I do the the ticker as opposed to that because it blocks some of the camera shot.
All
right, so here we go with your spin, Brett.
Hey, now here we go. Oh wait, sorry.
Something different. Get past the 100 jumping jacks. Thank you.
For the love of God, please do that.
There's gonna be some macho time.
Oh, it's macho time as we finish the year.
So, Brett, give us a topic to talk about, and we will discuss it in the voice of the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
I think it'd be kind of ironic if we brought up Jake the Snake because Macho feuded with Jake the Snake, and that crazy fool has COVID, even being home for 3 months. The poor bastard. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to make that snake bite me. Yeah, all that snake got was a taste of the madness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, best of luck to you, Jake Roberts. I mean, you've been through a lot, and now you have COVID, but I think you're going to be okay. Yeah. Just hope you're back, and hope you're back with Lance Archer wherever he's been. I wonder if he's still recovering from taking that drop on his head. Yeah.
Haven't seen Jake, but we haven't seen Lance anyway because he got a little knock on the noggin. Yeah, a little bit of a concussion thing going on there. You know, not good at all.
Brett says just go with the flow. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go with the flow of the show. Yeah.
Well, it's one of those deals where I want to feel bad for Jake. I do, but I was on the boat with him. Out in the water, way out there in the anchor way. He's on the oxygen tank doing his thing, trying to get healthy, trying to be right with the body, and then he's smoking the cigarettes on the balcony. It's like, Jake, oh goodness, Snake Man's a little crazy, a little crazy,
you wonder once he was done.
But he makes some hell of a picture. Just saying.
You have to wonder once Jake the Snake Roberts was done with me in the 90s, if he didn't catch a little of the madness. Yeah. If he didn't catch a little of the madness. Yeah. It's worse than the snake.
What was cool? Cool about the Snake Man? Snake Man had a one-man show out here in the SoCal area, and the Meach Man here his sister took him to see the Snake Man, and Snake Man signed a picture of the Snake Man unleashing the Cobra on the madness. Yeah, on Superstar. Shit was blocked out on TV. That censoring going on there, but on the picture it was fully uncensored. Yeah, kind of like the horrible pay-per-view I did with Hogan. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about the WCW pay-per-views. Yeah, we held the WCW title twice for one day before Hulk Hogan. Yeah, he took the title from me, and he shouldn't have got the shot. Yeah, he shouldn't have got a shot at the madness. Because Macho Man Randy Savage, yeah. The Macho Madness running wild. It's running wild more than Hulkamania. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you.
Madness is a little bit ahead of the Mania there, but you know what? I only went into uncensored in the first place on the alliance to preserve Hulkamania because the Nature Boy, that nasty Ric Flair, that double cheating, two-time and wheeling, whatever the hell that stupid phrase of his is, yeah, had Elizabeth boink me in the eye with a shoe. Yes, he did.
Yeah, and then we went through Orrin Anderson, we went through Lex Luger, we went through the Dungeon of Doom, and then the Booty Man with the Booty Pan, took everybody out, and we were...
Gotta love that Booty Man, doing his thing with his rocking the booty on the TV, and all of a sudden he's got a beard, he's a biker all of a sudden, thinking he's hot stuff, thinking he's better than the madness, but he's not, dig it!
You almost wonder if he was a little bit of a disciple for Hogan. Yeah. Needs a little bit of a haircut, though. Yeah.
Another guy that cost me the title with the freaking Stone Cold Stunner type move with the big gold on his shoulder, stealing stuff from Steve Austin.
Needs a haircut. Yeah, he needs to read the signs of the zodiac. That's what he needs. Yeah, we're just gonna list all the gimmicks.
Okay, you win. I can't compete with that shit. That was good. I didn't think about that. Oh, and the fact that they totally added that by he was a mole the whole time. It's like, really? That's where that's how we're getting out of this. Really? Jeez.
I mean, how many gimmicks did he have in WCW alone? He was
okay. So he came in as Brother Brudai. Oh, okay. At Bash at the Beach, when Hogan became champion, Gene called him Brutus the Barber Beefcake on TV, and everybody's going, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
So immediately he was Brother Brudai. So that's two right there. The Butcher. the Zodiac, the man with no name. They literally said the man with no name on the air. So he was like the Washington football team of WCW back then. And then the Disciple, and that's how he retired from WCW, because he was still a Disciple even though he wasn't Hogan's Disciple when he left.
Yeah, because he went to the One Warrior Nation.
One Warrior Nation, yeah. Freaking signed up with the Warrior. You talk about crazy. They called me crazy in '98. Goodness sakes almighty, the Warrior lost his mind. So 6 in the span of 4 years or so.
Yeah. Well, since JB3 is in the chat, I do want to plug the fact that
damn Randy voice.
Yeah, that's why I cut it short, because if you do the Savage voice for any longer than like 3 minutes, you're like gagging, because it requires so much raspiness in your voice.
Well, by the grace of God, I happen to mix a little something of a whiskey variety with this Coke, so I can gargle that shit and make it go away.
But since JB3 is here,
JB3 is here, yay!
I do want to plug the CWT Rumble, which is coming up. That's going to be exciting, and I may just throw my name in that hat. The winner gets a shot, an immediate shot for the CWT Championship against one Christopher Cass. And with me having the Fight for the Right, Money in the Bank shot, it's like, hey, 2 birds with 1 stone. If I fail the first time, who knows?
Wear him down, brother. Wear him down. That's it.
Yeah, wear him down, but
always thinking. And of course, there's always, this to throw out there for the world to see. Anyway, we'll just move right along there.
Yes, Cherry for Quizlemania. It's still a hope. And it's one of those things where my name has come up a couple of times on the most recent Quizlemania episodes, sometimes even unprompted.
Yeah.
So that's fun. So it's one of those things that we got a follower on Twitch. That's pretty cool. Yes, Brandon, I know it. I know you're going to try to win the Rumble, but you never know. You might get it like an early number and be gone soon. Of course, I had the advantage last year and I still didn't win. I had the final spot in there, and it came down to the final 2, which was me and Cass. So we will see. Oh no. Did you not get
second? He's gonna win. Dude, everybody's gonna win this Rumble apparently.
Well, not if JB3 has bad news about it.
I think he's pulling a Barrett and just gonna.
Unless he's gonna make me number 1, which I'll be like, oh damn it.
Dr. Pickleneck on Twitch. Hello to you. Good to see you on Twitch. Good to see us being watched on Twitch. I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's good because I do want to get some Twitch gaming done. Like that's a goal of mine this coming year. Is to
there you go.
It's to set up my big ass green screen that I got.
Right.
Set it up in this office and start doing some Twitch stuff.
So yeah, we're trying to decide if we're gonna bring this thing over to the other house and set it up, or we're just gonna paint that wall behind me in the chroma key green and just screw it and not mess with it.
I mean, when I was in college, we had a wall that was painted with the green screen, and that's where we did our like weather for the news. And
right. I remember seeing show me those clips. Yeah.
So and I love bringing up this story because like there was one time where the weather graphics weren't working and I had to ad lib like on air.
Tremendous.
Which I was able to do a good job of it because I had literally just looked at the graphics like 15 minutes before. So I was like, I'm able to go along with this. You can't see the graphics, but I know what's going on. So here's your weather. But yeah, it was a good time. And that's where this show started.
Very much so. Look at the draw. That's it. Which, again, if you guys haven't gone on the Greg Cherry Brand archives and watched the Luck of the Draw shows, please do that. If for no other reason that there's so much crap out there on social media and in the news, it's so depressing. That shit is funny. And it's great to watch if you just need a giggle or a belly laugh, to be honest with you, because it's funnier than hell. So,
I'm trying to get people from outside of Pennsylvania to come and play. And I have at least one interested party who has appeared on the channel before to do that.
What we need to do is convince the soon-to-be Mrs. Riff that part of the shenanigans that ensue when we go to Michigan to finally do the proper ceremony with all of us there is there has to be a day where we do Lucky the Draw. We just have to do that.
I'm down for that.
Like
obviously,
Caitlin, I know you're not watching because you've got
I'll play. I don't care.
But seriously, we need to set that up.
I can just imagine like the hilarity. And you know what? That could be something like with StreamYard's like new functions. Like that could be something that we not only air on this channel, but it could be streamed on your channel. And since Rift is involved, it could be streamed on his channel too.
Just depends how much of the wedding festivities they want to broadcast on our channels.
But the thing is, that's not like a wedding thing. Like that.
No, I understand that, but it just and it depends.
It'll go on my channel.
Besides you and I actually want to be involved. That's the other thing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I definitely want to do it. As much as I detest making a mess and being in that state, like I have not that state as in Michigan, that state of physical messy. Although I'm not fond of Michigan, that's a whole other story. Especially in football. But anyway, so yeah, JB3. I'm gonna go and throw it up there. Due to scheduling conflicts and other issues within, the Rumble is going to be canceled. More details will be explained on the next Name That Wrestler. Apologies to everyone who was going to be who was set to play. Ugh, bummer.
Yeah, it is what it is. That's hard to coordinate.
It really is. Especially with everybody. Again, you're trying to coordinate this tournament with people, I mean, England's 5 hours ahead of you, 8 ahead of me. So if Brett does win the tournament, I'm hosting it's going to be East Coast versus England with West Coast hosting. It's going to be a pain in the ass, but we'll get it done because we said we would. So.
Yeah, it can be done. I mean, for crying out loud, we had Adam Pearson on a live episode of Jack of All Trades, which started at 2 a.m. his time.
God bless him for that, man.
My God, Adam Pearson is a freaking legend.
He's one of those people on social media that the more I see his posts, whether they're funny or heartfelt or whatever, I just want to put that guy on a list of people that when we're allowed to hug people again, I'm gonna hug that motherfucker tight.
Yeah, Adam Pearson is. If you don't follow Adam Pearson on Twitter, you really should.
Yeah,
he is a fantastic follow for multiple reasons.
Yes.
Oh, Adam Pearson is nuts,
exactly.
but it's perfect.
He's nuts.
Love the dude
in a good way.
Love him so much. I can't put him over enough. I really can't. He's so good. No, What's up, this guy? How you doing?
Hey, this guy's here. That's cool.
I do want to throw this up.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that should have popped back up when I took the comments down. That's where they did that stupid thing.
Well, I took it off because of the wheel.
Oh, that's right.
It covered part of the wheel, so I took it off.
It wasn't my fault. Yay. Okay.
Thanks, Snitsky.
No, it's funny. Dad asked me what happened to him. I said he went away for a while, shaved his head, got a Isaac Yankum style mouth, and then was on ECW for a cup of coffee, and then he disappeared completely.
But he was on ECW, and then he got drafted to Raw. He was in the Rumble.
Right. I forgot all about him going to Raw.
And then,
yeah.
Then he started a cooking show a couple years later.
You talk about a gimmick that shouldn't have gone anywhere. And that freaking it's not my fault thing got over like Rover. Oh, the link is in the YouTube chat.
This guy, it should be in the description if you're watching. You are watching on YouTube because that's where the comment came from.
Right.
It should be in the description.
Yes.
I guess the show's not going to be exclusive to here. I was going to say, I'll just put it in the pinned comment because that's what I used to do. I used to put it in the pinned comment.
Does anybody else remember this? Because I don't.
Snitsky and TNA?
I don't remember that at all. that is not in my brain
I remember Zeke.
at all.
I don't remember Snitsky.
Yeah. I remember Zeke. I remember, but not Gene. Don't remember that at all. Zero memory of that. Wow. And I'm usually pretty good with the TNA stuff. I don't remember that at all.
No, I mean that was probably around the time, might have been right before Hogan and Bischoff took over, but it was probably in that weird transitional Dixie Carter's body. Yeah. Like I said, I remembered Zeke being there. I did not for the life of me remember Snitsky. I thought
I'm
he was
trying to get the. I remember Dixie having bodyguards when she turned heel, which was one of the stupidest things they ever friggin' did. But I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember Jean being there. That's weird. Anyway.
Well, they had the payoff with Dixie's heel turn. Bully Ray put her through a table.
Oh yeah. I just wish part of that heel turn hadn't been. I mean, it's good for us WWE fans and the New Japan fans, but I wish part of that hadn't been the exile of AJ Styles, because that was just tragic for them to do that. That was so stupid.
Yep.
Like that, people talk about, Hogan's, being in charge and helping creative killed TNA or Impact, whatever you want to call it. I honestly, because remember, by the time AJ left, Hogan was, if he wasn't already completely out of power backstage, he was definitely not the on-camera guy on screen. As a matter of fact, when AJ lost to Magnus, Dixie offered him the job on screen again. He turned her down. That was his last appearance before he got announced for WrestleMania.
Yeah,
as the host. So AJ leaving TNA was devastating. I'll die on that hill with the stake through my heart. I swear to God, I will.
Well, it absolutely was devastating, because you figure he was in the first match that TNA ever did. 6-man tag with him, Loki, and Jerry Lynn against the Flying Elvises. Like, that was a big deal.
Yeah. And the fact that show 2, he was the first ever X Division champion.
Yep.
A division that for a time, defined that company.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it brought guys like AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Chris Sabin, Michael Shane, Matt Bentley, whatever. Because
Jay Lethal. I mean, God,
Jay Lethal.
Look at freaking Jay Lethal is now. He could have been, a 3-time Ring of Honor champion the other night. And God bless John Gresham, man. That guy, not only is he the champion, he's going to defend against Chris friggin' Sabin at Hard to Kill next weekend.
Yeah. Which
is not a small task to go against Chris Sabin on pay-per-view, let alone for a championship. So good on him, man.
Can we just talk about, very briefly, we're talking about the X Division. Can we talk about how brilliant the stuff was with Kevin Nash in the X Division?
Yes, we can, because it didn't get talked about near enough post-mortem. Damn it, that shit was brilliant.
Oh my gosh. Like, that was some of the best work of Kevin Nash's career. I'm going to say it.
He and I talked about that in the lull when we went to the meet and greet however long ago. It feels like it's forever ago. It was only a couple months, really. I think it was post-cruise, if I remember right. Anyway, and he was like, yeah, I had so much fun doing that, man. I targeted the X Division, then we partnered. It was so fun. That's where Alex Shelley really got under, his gears underneath him post Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, really. Mm-hmm. He really got
Machismo came from.
Mm-hmm. Think about where Jay Lethal would have been theoretically if he hadn't become Black Machismo.
He might have just been forgotten about, honestly.
Yeah, he probably would have been in the same area as Consequences Creed before he became Xavier Woods. I mean, really, because a lot of people forget that Creed was in TNA. He was the substitute for Pac-Man. We talk about that on the show all the time, so people probably remember that from this show. But yeah, he was the Pac-Man substitute, and now he's the king of the friggin' ring. So. Yeah,
I can say this because even though the Bengals lead the AFC North, it's still the only championship the Bengals will ever have is Pac-Man Jones winning the
fair enough
titles. But since the Bengals lead the AFC North, it's like I can't say that because what if they go on a run? Joe Burrow's on fire. He lit up Baltimore.
Like I always say, and I've said this when it comes to the Anaheim Schmucks down south, and when it comes to other sports. Division championships mean dick. So
it's true because the AFC North has been incredibly competitive.
Yep.
But a division championship at least guarantees you the spot in the playoff.
Right.
So
and again, Mikey, God love him. I don't know if I still have it nearby here. He did. Okay. He got me this wonder. I've never had a Cowboys flag in my office in my life. Right. Double-sided, which is also awesome. I can change up with my mood. If I'm feeling blue or feeling gray, I can change it. But he was like, I'm going to buy you I'm like, don't buy anything else before Valentine's Day. Do not buy any championship, any damn thing. For the love of God, don't do it. the fact that some of us Kings fans leached onto that 2012 conference championship hat, I was like, no, wait. And we still won the Stanley Cup. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Because anything before that big trophy at the end of the season is second place. Okay. So, no. Unless Dak's got that Lombardi trophy over his hand, I don't want a damn thing until after Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So it's basically like New England in 2007, I believe it was. They were 18-0 going into the Super Bowl, and the one game they lost happened to be for the championship. I may have laughed for a week straight after that, but
and it's one of those things, Greg, where firsthand the last time the Cowboys won it all.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, it's been 25 friggin' years. Okay. So it's like, damn it. I want a Lombardi trophy again.
Yeah. I get it. Like, I guess I should feel like blessed that I've been able to witness multiple Super Bowl runs and a couple Super Bowl championships in my lifetime.
Right.
So getting to see the Steelers win in 2006 and 2009. And as we found out with John Madden's passing, well, I knew it already, but the last game that John Madden ever called was the Steelers Super Bowl 43 win against Arizona. Fantastic. You know what? If you're going to go out on any game, and this is not just me saying this because the Steelers won, if you're going to go out on any game, what a Super Bowl to do it. What a good game that was. My gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just so good. So good. Brett, I will definitely answer that question because I know it right off the top of my head, but I'll wait for Q&A. And I promise I won't research. I'll keep my hands visible-ish. Here, I'll just do this. There you go. But I don't know the answer, so it's okay. Anyway.
I'm pretty sure you researched this. I know it didn't happen in Spring Stampede because that came up in the last tournament because Savage and DDP main evented.
Right.
It had to have been more than 4. Were they doing the every month pay-per-views? 97? I thought so. Okay, so Sold Out, Super Brawl.
Yep.
Uncensored. Spring Stampede was a no. Slamboree. I'm trying to go through the pay-per-view schedule.
Well, just remember the cards you're going through also. Don't just assume there was a championship match because it's pay-per-view.
Road Wild, I know there was one because Hogan beat Luger for the title.
That's right, brother.
World War III, I don't think there was one at World War III. Because I know there was one at Starrcade because that was
yeah. The payoff that didn't. All right,
I'm going to say 9.
So you are correct with Sold Out. It was the Giant. Super Brawl was Roddy. There was none of the Uncensored. Uncensored 97 was the triple threat tag team match to determine supremacy. Team WCW, Team NWO, Team Piper. None at Slamboree. I mentioned again, Spring Stampede was the Savage Page main event. Slamboree, the main event was the NWO versus Kevin Green, the Wolfpack versus Kevin Green, Piper, and Flair.
Okay. Okay. So
none of Bash to the Beach.
That wasn't the same year as DDP and Karl Malone. That was 98, wasn't it?
That's correct.
Okay.
But Bash to the Beach 97.
I said 9. I think I'm too high.
You're way high. So Sold Out, Super Brawl. Not one again till Road Wild.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I'm way high.
Then he didn't defend at Fall Brawl because it was the War Games. October, he had the match with Piper, but it was non-title. And then Starrcade. That's it.
4.
Starrcade, Sold Out, Super Brawl, and Road Wild. That was it.
I remember you saying that 97, like Hogan didn't do much with the title on pay-per-views.
He didn't. Hogan was media boy in 97, not world champion. He just happened to have the big gold with him with the spray paint on it.
And he had the title for pretty much the entire year, except for those like 6 days that Luger had it.
Yeah, Luger beat him in Detroit on the 100th Nitro. then he lost it on Saturday. And then Hogan didn't lose the title again until December 28th.
Yeah.
And he only defended it between Road Wild and Starrcade a grand total of no times.
Yeah.
And again, people retrospectively, even at the time, they were like, Jesus, really? But you have to remember, the entire creative behind Hogan's transformation was he was bigger than the sport. He was bigger than the business. He was bigger than the company. He was bigger than everything. He didn't have to do anything he didn't want to do. And with Bischoff literally in his pocket or, up his ass, depending on what viewpoint you took, he didn't have to.
Right. So this guy sent in a donation, which I appreciate. I'll get to that in a second. But yes. I do want to say, Sean Rossat brought up an interesting point this week. And he said that this is it's probably the first year in a long time that the World Championships did not change hands in a scheduled pay-per-view match. The only world title change on pay-per-view this year was Miz cashing in on McIntyre. That's it.
That's true. That's crazy when you think about it. That shows, how dominant Roman has been and how, for the most part, consistent the WWE champions have been on Raw.
You figure, because after The Miz, Lashley took the title on Raw, Big E cashed Money in the Bank on Raw, and that's been it.
And it wasn't like it wasn't being defended. It was just the matches have been great, and the champions retained. Mm-hmm. Now, again, the overall creative on Raw is a hot mess. I'm not even going to deny that or be facetious about that. It's just Big E has been delivering, as did Lashley. My dad still doesn't get the Lashley thing. He doesn't like Lashley. It's like, man, if you take Bobby Lashley's attitude now and put him into the mid-2007, I love him forever.
Yeah.
Because then he's beaten Cena, with all due respect to John. Mm-hmm. And he's dominant then, which is awesome. Predictions for day one will be tomorrow on my channel. I don't know if Greg, if you want to hop in on that, you're more than welcome to come, obviously. You have WTC tomorrow also. We're actually going to have predictions right after WTC tomorrow. So there you go.
There you go. I may hop on. We'll see. So I do want to get to this, guys. He said, speaking of Bobby Lashley, if you had to bet $200 on if Bobby would finally face Brock in WWE or even UFC, would you bet on it or against it happening?
Ooh, good question.
Well, Brock right now is a babyface. Lashley, I believe, just turned babyface. So I don't see it happening. I would probably bet against it.
Yeah.
If I had to put smart money down. Of course, it's one of those bets that doesn't get paid out until the end of time.
Right.
Because what if it happens like Lashley and Lesnar meet 5 years down the road? It's like you have to put like a time limit on it happening. So
pretty sure that'll happen before Veer debuts on Raw at this point.
Adam Pearson put out a smart ass tweet that says, "I'll probably get on Quizlemania before Veer debuts."
I saw that. And you said, "Don't be too sure." I'm like, why? Why is that not a sure thing at this point?
If it was a sure thing, believe me, I wouldn't have put that. But
that's okay. Aaron put that meme tweet up. I freaking quote tweeted it and put a Disney Plus logo over the Raw logo based on their sales rumors. We'll see Veer on Disney Plus before. We'll see Veer on we'll see Veer on the Book of Boba Fett before we see him on Raw.
To quote
Which
Sting,
is good, by the way. That's a good damn show. So far. One episode.
To quote Sting, the only thing for sure is that nothing's for sure.
That's it. Oh my God. And yes, he is coming. That's right.
Oh my!
I almost replied to Aaron. I've seen bad movies start that way. Somebody's coming, but anyway, it's a whole other.
I feel like that joke, like Sean made that joke, Riff made that joke. I've seen Denise Salcedo made that joke.
If Denise makes that joke, it's gone mainstream because she's usually not that graphic.
Since she's been on Fightful, I think she's.
It's true. It's so funny. She was less out there working with Waltman than she is now, which makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Waltman X-Pac was on The View this morning. The View. Wow. God, I need a nap. The bump. Jesus. Talking about he's good to go in 2022. Can we see X-Pac wrestle everybody, please? Please.
I don't know if you saw my tweet, but I posted out a tweet that said 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3.
Right?
I
just
would
for the
pop.
shits and giggles of that moment.
Just because last year I tweeted him like before the 2021 Rumble. I was like,
Right.
I want to see the 1, 2, 3 kid enter the Royal Rumble. Because as the kid, he's only been in once. He's only been in 96. So
yes. And that was heel Crybaby Kid, which sucked.
Yeah, it was his feud with Razor, which coincidentally is technically the only time Razor's ever been out there for a Rumble match. Because he was never an official entrant.
That's right.
The only Razor Ramon that ever entered was in 97, and that wasn't Scott Hall.
Rick Bogner. May he rest in peace. God love him.
I appreciate the Southpaw Regional Wrestling reference there, Brett.
That's tremendous.
Which, if you guys have not seen Southpaw Regional Wrestling, and this came out like 3 or 4 years ago, my gosh, is that good stuff. And Fandango, Johnny Curtis is just so freaking good in that.
So Dango's on NWA now.
There you go.
I'm like, my dad was stoked about that one because he Curtis is one of those guys that even my dad's like, how did they drop the ball with this dude? And I go, I have no idea.
How many people have we asked that about in the last year?
Yeah.
It's like, how did they drop the ball on it? It's like, well, you would think it has to be a systemic problem at this point.
It has to be.
Like, how do you release over 100 talents in the last 2 years and not think that you have a problem with how you're booking talent? Like, the SmackDown women's division is basically the Charlotte show, and nobody can get an edge on her. Like,
9 people,
Sasha, but she has
9 people in that division right now after Tony's departure today.
How are they going to fill the Rumble?
I don't know.
Like, I don't think they have 30 women on the roster. They're just going to have to call in people. Be like, hey, Louis Dangor tweeted that he thinks Denise will be in the Rumble. It's like, might as well. Throw Caleb Braxton in there,
probably make it happen. So, hey. And I'll address that rumor that just got posted about WWE purchase in just a second. But I just got to say, I forget who put out the tweet. I actually responded to it. I think Louis Dangor put it out there, or maybe he replied to mine or whatever it was. He put out a tweet that said, you can fill an entire women's wrestling company with the people that have been released from the women's roster in WWE this year alone. And I replied, the scariest crap is only 6 of them have actually signed or appeared somewhere else. Mercedes appeared with Impact. Mickey's with NWA and Impact. The Inspiration.
Chelsea.
I forget the other 2. I said it. I'll check
Chelsea
in a second.
Green.
What's that?
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. Yeah, thank you. Oh, there it is.
Ruby.
And Ruby Soho. That's it. 6 out of a full roster of people. You figure Tony Storm just left today, so we can't really count her just yet. Yeah. Ember Moon, Tegan Knox, Taya still not signed with anybody yet, which surprises me.
Well, I don't.
Mia Yim.
Is her non-compete up?
Oh yeah, way up by now because she never went to main roster, so she only had to be 30.
Maybe she's waiting for Morrison or
maybe?
Nitro or John
Hannigan.
Yeah,
yeah. Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke, again, I don't think they're going to sign with anybody. They may go back to fighting, but Marina's a mama, and Roddy's working steady, so, you know.
Marina was just on Dark, wasn't she? Or Elevation?
Oh, she was. That's right. I forgot. I totally forgot about my apologies, Marina. I'm sorry. That's 100% me. My bad. CJ Perry still hasn't signed with anybody that I know of.
I wonder if the interest is even there.
You know, putting her with Miro is the only thing I would see working, but Miro
that's the only thing.
He's such a different character than he was when he was Rusev. So I don't know how that would work, honestly.
Well, she wouldn't be Lana. She'd be, or maybe she like got the rights to Lana or something. I don't.
Well, no. Even if because by the time she left, she was more CJ than she was Lana. But what I'm saying is, Miro having his wife along for that run just doesn't feel right to me now. You know, like he doesn't need a arm candy. And I'm not saying CJ's arm cannon because she's awesome. But in that context, that's what she would be. Nia hasn't. I don't think Nia's past 90 yet. But again, who's going to sign Nia? She's got such damaged goods on her, and I'm not saying she's not a good person because I've never met her, but she's proven that it's a mess. And then Santana Garrett, who has been in and out of every company 300 times in the last 5 years. I'm not shitting on Santana. It's just nobody wants to keep her around, which I think is so stupid. Former NWA champion.
I think Santana Garrett is going to the Women of Wrestling promotion.
I was going to say, if I remember right, she's going back to WOW because that's where she was before she really got the NWA behind her and pushing her.
I am interested to see how that's going to go, and I hope it's not just like a Tessa Blanchard ego boost.
My whole thing, and again, this is going to sound very biased, and maybe it is. I really don't care. People crapped on WOW for signing Tessa, and whatever you feel about Tessa, again, it's hearsay. None of us were there. Okay. But they crapped on Jeannie Buss for signing her. It's like, you know what? Good, bad, and different. Tessa has a buzz on her right now. And yes, I don't think that shirt was appropriate. I thought that was kind of shitty to do, actually. I'm not going to lie. But I will always defend the Buss family because Dr. Buss owned the Lakers for many years and he owned the Kings. And he owned the Forum itself. So, and I've met Jeannie. I love Jeannie. I love the family. I was a complete wreck when I watched Dr. Buss's funeral on television. It was horrible for me. So I will always defend the family. Again, people are going to think what they think about Tessa. And again, this is where I get that gray area with people on social media because, I didn't outright defend Alberto or Teddy Hart, but I got slammed for doing so. And that wasn't what I was doing. I was just saying that was my experience and I got complete shit for it. And, looking back, Alberto got cleared of all charges, right or wrong. I still lost what I felt was a decent friendship out of that, or at least I think I did. I don't know. I haven't talked to the person, but, people are going to believe what they want to believe about people's personal lives and the way they interact with people backstage. Here's the deal. And again, I'm trying not to sound too pedestal here on your show. 25 years ago, or even 30, well, I'll say 30 because NWO, we didn't know it was going backstage. But before the internet, we didn't know what was going on. We didn't hear about these little fights backstage unless you were a subscriber to a newsletter. Now it's just out there.
Yeah.
With all due respect to people who may or may not have been bullied backstage, why is that the fans' responsibility to take that on and own that?
In the age of social media, everybody is held accountable for everything that they do.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Whether it's true or not, I'm not going to outright defend anybody in this situation.
Right.
And again, if Tessa did what people said she did, then obviously she needs to be held accountable for that. Yeah. Which I thought Impact giving her the world championship after those things came out was questionable, but that's neither here nor there.
True.
It's one of those things where you have to be held accountable for stuff that you do. Now, granted, the court of public opinion is a very dangerous court to get in because you are guilty until proven guilty, essentially. And
right.
And even after the fact, if you're proven innocent, you're still guilty because perception for a lot of people is reality. If you are perceived in a certain way, you are that person and nothing's going to change their opinion, no matter what you do to fix it.
And Greg, the thing is, you said Tessa may have held accountable because she was given the world championship. Then she was stripped because she couldn't leave because of COVID. And she has been, for lack of a better term in my head, a pariah since then. Nobody signed her until WOW did this year. So she's been off over a year because she's damaged goods, Now, I don't know what Nia's status is backstage. I've heard she's a wonderful person, but we've seen on screen how her work has caused problems. So do you sign somebody if they have a good attitude and a good heart, even though they might break your star's face? That's where that line gets crappy too with people signing people because, like you said, the court of public opinion is a mucker feather. It's terrible. It's awful. But, the court, the the benefit of sight and sound is also dangerous for people that, flat out produce unfortunate situations in front of the world on TV. Like I've said this 100 million times in the last couple of years. Nia Jax indirectly responsible for Ronda Rousey leaving WWE. If you really trace the steps back.
So we're being asked a question. This
Yes.
guy is on another donation. Thank you, this guy. Q&A for the end of the episode. We're basically almost there. We still got 15 minutes, but whatever. The show's been kind of stream of consciousness.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
Who are your guys' top 3 favorite wrestlers from WWE in these time periods? Top 3 from the 80s, top 3 from the 90s, top 3 from 2000s and after.
Jeez. Okay. I don't think were you okay. Well, I was watching in the 90s starting, but I'll go ahead and, from the 80s, Hogan. Again, this is based on looking back after the fact, but Hogan, Roddy, and I will say Savage. From the 90s, you can't say 1990 WWF and not say Shawn Michaels because that's just sacrilegious. Give me a break. Shawn Michaels, again, I'm going to be kind of say Bret Hart. And if we're talking about the whole 90s, not just the last 3 years of the 90s, I would say probably, honestly, my favorite from that whole decade would be Nash's run. I know people, they didn't draw, but I enjoyed it. And, of course, awesome 90s also. 2000, we're talking just the 2000, 2009 or the whole 2000 so far?
2000 to present.
Okay, 2000 to present, John Cena. Honestly, Undertaker post 2000, I think I enjoyed more than previous because he evolved as a character and I thought it was great to see. So Cena, Undertaker, and Edge.
80s for me will be Savage. I know he was still on a team at the time, but Bret Hart.
No.
And Tito Santana. I really enjoyed Tito's work.
Look at you throwing out Tito. I like that. That's cool.
90s, obviously, HBK. I'm trying to think of people I really dug in the 90s. I would say Sergeant Craig Pittman, but that's completely out of left field. Even though, you know what? I'm going to throw out Booker T.
I'm going to say, you know what? If you're saying 90s, if he's your favorite, throw it out there. Screw it.
Sergeant Craig Pittman was one of those characters. I know he didn't do a whole lot in WCW, but he was one of those characters that I saw and was like, I didn't have this thought in my mind at the time because I was 6. But looking back, I had the thought process. It's this guy's a badass. He's awesome. I love Sergeant Craig Pittman. But I will say Shawn Michaels. I'll say Booker T. And because I did watch a lot of WCW in the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, I can easily say NWO and just that's my 3, but that's easy out.
Well, that's 50 people. And The Rock. I'll say The Rock.
The Rock in the 90s, really? Okay. I dig that.
And 2000 to present, Christopher Daniels.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle.
Yep.
Sasha Banks.
There you go. Again, honorable mentions, thousands. So we're just going to move on to the next segment.
There's many honorable mentions, but
yeah, Sasha
has been, and I sing the praises of Sasha Banks all the time, but Sasha Banks, legitimately, I am going to put out a hot take right now. I'm going to put out a hot take. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair is a top 5 WrestleMania main event. That's a hot take. I will stand on that. Somebody clip that, put that on Twitter because I believe it. Sasha,
right on, brother.
I don't know where in the top 5, but it is a top 5 main event. I was thinking about this earlier.
So we'll try to bleed too much into Dynamite. If we do, we're sorry, EW. But I wanted to put this out there because I know I want to talk about it with you specifically. I put the poll up for Talk Wrestling that was supposed to go up this week, and it didn't really happen format-wise, but I was surprised that this, I mean, I know which you would pick for reasons, obviously, but I was surprised that more people didn't pick the Money in the Bank because that seems to be more of a not a sure thing, but more of a guarantee than a Rumble main event WrestleMania slot, because then you have to actually beat the champion straight up in a scheduled match.
I feel like people would take it more so because not that the Rumble winner is guaranteed to win the championship, because as we've seen in recent years, that's not the case. I mean,
Right.
Bianca did it. In 2020, Drew did it.
Yep.
Seth did it in 2019, as did Becky.
Yep.
Who won the women's 2020? Charlotte. That was a costume.
Well, it's funny. Asuka won the Rumble, but yeah.
So it's not a guarantee. In 27, Orton won and then proceeded to have Orton's Rumble wins have translated into really shitty WrestleMania title matches.
Neither one of them his or his opponent's fault, really.
But my gosh, like, not that 33 was a good WrestleMania anyway. I mean, the highlight of that show was the first match.
No.
And the Hardys returning.
And the match wasn't good, but Undertaker's moment at the end, had it stuck, was freaking beautiful.
Yes, but now like Cena's proposal to Nikki Bella, both of them aged like a fine milk.
God. You know I don't like that one. Gagging in the moment, watching it. All right, so coming up on next week's show, it's already out there, and the vote is bananas. And Greg and I talked about this off air too, because I saw Fight TV put this out first. So I'm going to be full disclosure. I saw them with them first, and I said if I could bring back any championship belt, I'd bring back this. Look how that design looks with the new logo. That shit pops.
Yeah, it does.
It looks really nice, and it's not a hard edit for the belt etchers. It really isn't. But to be fair, I went back and looked at all the answers they get, and people I've talked with over the years, the last year more so than anything else. So this is the poll. Which classic championship belt would y'all bring out of retirement if you could? And I put the Winged Eagle up there because that was one of the popular answers, not just because it's my choice. But the original Big Gold, and I mean no WWE branding, none of that gaga. The European Championship, which I find so funny as I'm looking at the poll here, but I'll get to that in a minute, or the Hardcore Championship. Now, the European Championship, all I've heard people talk about since the UK brand debuted is bring the European Championship back, because, it's basically the same thing. That currently has the lowest number. In the 2.5 hours that poll's been up, the European Championship has 3.2% of the 31 votes. Like, damn. Hardcore Championships in second place. And a lot of people have been saying hardcore, just not 24/7 rule, because the 24/7 rule has proved to be a mess now. They couldn't do 24/7 hardcore like they did in the 2000s because it's not that company anymore. Mm-hmm. Winged Eagle's taking over the majority again. It's over 50%, and Big Gold's catching up again. So, but you and I talked about both Big Gold and Winged Eagle being like, if they were going to bring it again, just be a champion, like they had the IWGP 2 belts, Winged Eagle, Big Gold, just right there. I mean, it's great.
Tim
here we
Davis
go.
Asked,
football. Yeah, football's happening.
Which teams do you think will be the 1 seed in the NFC and the AFC come to playoff? AFC, who the hell knows? NFC is going to be the Packers.
Really?
Yeah. NFC, I think the Packers have the 1 seed as of right now. And I think they're just on a roll until they lose in the NFC Championship, because that's just what the Packers do.
To the Cowboys, hopefully.
Well, that's very possible. The AFC, I would say the Chiefs, because I think they have the number 1 seed. But again, the AFC has been so unpredictable. Other than the game against the Steelers, I knew that was going to happen.
It's one of those there. We shit on the NFC East last year. God, the entire league is bonkers this year. Every week there's 1 or 2 games where you just go, huh? At least 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, the Lions beating the Cardinals. That's one of them.
Okay. I was mad about the Steelers having that tie and throwing everybody's pick them off. Detroit beat Arizona. Let's just take the pick 'em and flush them straight down the shithole, shall we?
They didn't just beat Arizona. They whooped them by 18 points.
They took them to school. Yeah, it was bad. That was the complete I already used the F word once. That was a complete muckerfuther of a game. Like, what in the hell? My God. I couldn't even believe that. Could not believe that.
Chris is asking for the Q&A, how long will Jeff keep his Jack of all trades title?
At
At least until March.
Yeah.
Because that's how long the tournament's going to last till. But yeah, Jack of all trades will come back in March. And Jeff and I were talking about something before the show, which I'm not going to talk about because I have no idea what's going to happen with the tournament.
So I'm going to turn 39 and get a year older, and I'll probably have my memory slip more, and I'll lose championships. There you
go. And Brandon says he wants a rematch if he doesn't win the tournament. It's possible. Hey, he nearly had you. If it wasn't for Sasha Banks' gear, he'd be champion. But you know me, and you know I got to throw some Sasha love in there. And I can't believe we didn't talk about this more. Tony Storm getting released.
Not much to say. I mean, it is because she actually asked for it, apparently.
She asked for it, so it's not like one of those where they just like decided, we're gonna get rid of her. From the sounds of it, from what Sean said, and again, I'm going off of Sean's report because Sean is pretty damn accurate with his news, so that's where I go. That's what it was kind of implied in the tweet, because it said Tony Storm is finished with WWE, Tony Storm is done with WWE. It's not Tony Storm was released. Like there was different verbiage which implied that.
It's funny. Sean never said that flat out in any of his tweets. That was picked up and then ran down the field. It's like, that word wasn't used, y'all. Slow down. Yeah. Relax. So
what's up, Maddie? How you doing?
Maddie. Thank you. Yeah, seriously. Where's my I don't have water near me, but I should.
All right. So real quick, we have 2 donations here that we have to cover before we go out there. This guy sent in one, and it says, last question, Greg, will you ever be on another No DQ panel or video again, and will you join them for the Rumble video this upcoming year? Ever? I don't know. Unlikely. And will you join them for the Rumble video this upcoming year? Again, unlikely. Nothing against them, but
I will say this. My anniversary show is going to simulcast on Saturday. So if you pop in there, you'll be on that, but it won't be a panel. It'll be you and me. So,
yeah. So, again, planned, unlikely, just because I've been gone from No DQ for quite a bit. And even though I am the designated Rumble guy at the IWC, I probably won't be. We'll be doing our own Rumble video on this channel, either as a special or as the Greg Cherry Show or something. There you go. Thursday, January 13th. And I do want to say this, and I'll put it out in a tweet later. I do want to have like a Rumble themed contest.
As far as
related to this.
Okay.
Maybe everybody donates to get a number in the contest, and the winner will give some sort of prize. So if you guys are interested in that, if you guys want to do like, it's kind of like a pick'em. It's kind of like one of those type things. I'm not gonna ask for much. Maybe like $1 a number or something like that. Not gonna be a whole lot.
We were gonna talk about kind of pairing that up with Stat Boys football squares for the college football and the Super Bowl. We'll just kind of have a month of pools.
Yeah. But the reason this is back up is because Brett donated again. So we are going to be spinning the wheel of destiny and hoping, for the love of God, it doesn't end up on a workout to close the show. So here we go. Brett spin. Get past those jumping jacks. Thank you. Entrance. Stop. Thank you. All right. So we're going to close out the year with an entrance. So Brett, let me know what entrance you want me to do. No, I'm not doing 100 jumping jacks again. It has to land on that spot. And there's a reason there's only one of those on the wheel.
Right. And after Greg's done with the entrance, we're going to be doing a preview of what's to come for me on the channel, on my channel. And then we'll close the show out with the awesome Greg Cherry music to close us out. So there you
go. So I will do the entrance. We'll close the show. And then tell you what, I'm going to move my camera now. It's not your pick, Brandon.
Yeah,
if you want to see that, you donate money. It's not your pick.
Yeah. Pony up, brother.
If you want to promote what's coming up, oh, Scotty Too Hot. That's a fun one. All right.
Do the worm or it doesn't count.
I'm not gonna do the worm.
Nah.
I am too old to do the worm.
Too old to do the
I'm
worm.
not in the
older
shape
than
that
you,
Scotty
dude.
Too Hotty is in to do
That's
the
true.
worm. All right. So, here we go. Full screen.
At least this guy's music got that Dan Body Don's music.
You got to pull something doing his entrance. Full screen me.
Can do.
All right, here we go. Scotty Too Hotty's entrance.
Oh my god. That was interesting.
I'm throwing that little Grandmaster Sexay too.
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh my god.
There you go.
So next time somebody does an entrance, if you pick Scotty again, you should give bonus points if they donate more money. You should do a Rumble entrance where you get knocked the hell out on the way in.
Yeah. Happened to him twice.
Right. Scotty Too Hotty is still one of the 2 Rumbles in a row, and it's not
Scotty Too Hotty won the 2005 Rumble.
That's why he left the company. Taking recognition, damn it.
I'm exhausted. Thank God that's the end of the show.
Oh no. There is nobody wider in wrestling than Greg Cherry and Jeff Meacham. Even Scotty Too Hotty. That's a true story. Scotty is still in the Rumble. That's right. Scotty and Joe Henning are still in the Royal Rumble, damn it.
The 2 longest lasting people in Royal Rumble history.
Scotty's been in so long, he's still in 2 Rumbles. He's got stamina. Jesus. So is Maven, technically, in the 2002 Rumble.
All right, we're going to close the show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us
God
in
almighty.
2021 for the Greg Cherry Show. I'm going to try and get in better shape so I'm not so gassed after these entrances. That's a resolution.
Don't forget, WTC tomorrow. Final match.
Yes, WTC, the final match of the first round. It's going to be Jordan Owens going against Luke Anthony Walsh. That's going to be a good one. There's the WTC graphic. One of them, at least. So it's going to be a good time. And then the winner of that match is actually going to be in the week after's match also. So they're going to be going back-to-back weeks. And the winner of that match is going to be facing off against Brett Storm. So once Brett Storm whoops their ass.
No faith in the challenger. That's it. You're done.
Well, I mean, stranger things have happened in this.
This is true.
So
True.
It's very possible that we could see an upset, but who knows? Until then, I'm Greg Cherry. That's Jeff Meacham. We're going to close the show with some videos and go enjoy Dynamite. I'm going to enjoy this water. And we will see you next year in 2022. We'll see you on WTC tomorrow, but we will see you in 2022 for more of the Greg Cherry Show. Have a good night.